So as I sit in yet another traffic jam in Auckland, it's probably about time I had a bit of a reflection about this car I'm travelling in, my 2001 Ford Fairmont AU. I've enjoyed this car a great deal. I apologise for the sun that's hitting the camera at the moment. It has kind of been everything I hoped for, really. It's been big, it's been wafty, it's been comfortable, it's been entertaining enough on the smoother bits of road, or the windier bits of road rather, but overall it's been a lovely place to spend my time, and it has served me well for 8,000 kilometres. So yeah, I mean, I came here wanting a Holden, to be honest with you. A Holden was the ultimate glory, just because I'm more of a General Motors man. It's not that I'm anti-Ford, so I'm just taking in a Toyota Carina I've never seen before. It's just that I grew up with General Motors stuff, so the cars of Vauxhall and to a lesser degree Opel were the cars I remember. I had the brochures, I had relatives who had them, but it just proves that you should step outside your comfort zone. I've loved this car, and I love how it is tailored to a market that really doesn't exist anywhere else, Australia. So it's big, relatively simple, but has, you know, air conditioning, comfortable seats. It's built very much for covering distance. It's a big wafty barge without necessarily the complication you might expect from a big wafty barge. Oh, this is just absolutely terrible. Auckland really is a horrible place to drive. Just yeah, if you like driving, stay well away. But you know, it's easy enough in this car. 2 pedals, just waft along. It's got enough torque that when you want to get a shift on to nip into a gap, it can do that very easily. So I love the power. It's got just the right amount of power for a big car, I think. 217 brake horsepower, and the automatic gearbox is really very good indeed. It's very smooth, and I never seem to catch it out. Often the complaint I have with automatic gearboxes is there will always be moments where it just doesn't do the right thing. Very occasionally it'll do a bit of a double kick down and take me by surprise, and it'll take a while to actually do that when you stamp on the loud pedal. But generally I haven't found I've had to adapt my driving style to suit the gearbox, and that's a clear recommendation. It's a BTR gearbox. I know nothing of BTR. It's a company in Australia that no longer exists. I think it's been absorbed into other countries, other companies even. But yeah, that's nice. The steering is nice. I really like this dashboard. Having now driven a later BF Falcon, separate video will probably have appeared on that, or might be about to. I much prefer this interior. I like how curvy, and I hate to use the word organic, but curves are more organic than corners generally. Yeah, I really like this car a lot, and it will be hard to say goodbye to this car in just 2 days. This is one of my final journeys in it, really, and yeah, I will certainly miss it. I would have loved to have shipped this car to the UK, but sometimes you just got to realise what your limitations are. Nice Volvo 940 estate there, and just accept that you cannot do everything. But who knows, I'll stay in touch, hopefully, with the new owner of this car. Maybe one day I'll be able to justify it, and I can take Betty on further adventures. But I have to face the facts that, yeah, YouTube income isn't necessarily millionaire status, just in case you were wondering. Yeah, I can't do everything. Some things remain a dream, and maybe that's better in some ways. Keeping things as a dream, maybe not such a bad idea after all. But yeah, I just like the stalks. I like the steering wheel buttons. I love the stereo. The stereo is astonishing. The air conditioning has kept me nice and cool. Yeah, I'm struggling to fault this car. I mean, yes, it's got a simple beam axle at the back. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the sat nav at the same time, and ooh, traffic ahead. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I shall find somewhere to stop, and we can take a look at the outside and discuss this car more. Well folks, this is it, the end of the line for Betty and I, and I have to say I'm feeling a little emotional at this stage. This car has served me so well. I've really grown to love it, and the looks have softened on me so much. As you can see, she's even had a wash because frankly she deserves it. She has served me so well. You know, her paint isn't perfect, her headlamps are still slightly iffy, her alloy wheels are scratched, and her spoiler lacquer is abominable. But yeah, I came here not knowing what I would drive. I had the BX lined up, but I thought I need my own car, and I had no idea what it would be, and destiny hurled Betty in my direction. I won't even call her Ugly Betty anymore because I've just grown to like her so much, and it would have been great in an ideal world to take her back to the UK, but yeah, most people would just take a few knickknacks back, and I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I can't really justify shipping an entire car 11,000 miles across the world, but I'm certainly very pleased to have spent my time with this car, and I hope you've enjoyed our travels too. This isn't quite the final drive. I've got one more drive tomorrow to the Kilometres Classic Hot Rod and Vintage show. We're heading there tomorrow, where we'll do the handover. That will be it. That will be goodbye Betty. Oh. Still not the happiest gearbox first thing in the morning, but away we go. Drive has been found, and this is it, the final drive of Betty. Now there are some things I won't miss about this car. One of the things is the fact that filling this car up is an absolute pain in the backside. No matter what angle you try, you can't give the pump full squeeze, and it's a big old tank, so it takes ages to fill. Very, very irritating. But we're now following an Austin 3 litre down the road. We're driving to the Kilometres Classic and Vintage and Hot Rod show, or something like that. So should be a fun day. Not sure how much footage I'm going to shoot today because frankly I'm knackered, but we'll see. I'm sure there will be some very pleasant V8 noises. As my 4 litre Ford Fairmont follows this Austin 3 litre. What a beautiful morning in paradise again. I am one night away from the end of my New Zealand experience. I will definitely miss this. The way this car just wafts along effortlessly. In fact, I might even set the cruise control. There we go. Don't even have to go to the trouble of pressing the throttle pedal. And there's a lot of this in New Zealand, this travelling at 100 kilometres an hour on straight roads with barely a bend. So a car designed for even more of that in Australia, always going to be the perfect car for the job, and this really has been. I'm glad I had my BX experience at the start of this trip. I really enjoyed that, but yeah, this has been the perfect vehicle to pick up the baton and carry on. I'll miss you, Betty. I'm afraid the moment has arrived. It is time to hand over the key of Betty the Fairmont to Tony and Diane, the brave people who are taking her on for her next adventure. Right. So there you go.
I'm delighted to take over Betty.
Yeah, thank you very much.
She'll be in good hands.
Oh, excellent. I wish you many happy adventures.
Yeah,
and that is it. Bye bye, Betty. So it's bye bye BX, and it's hello Ford. Well, I'd love to say things are going well, but I've just locked the keys in the boot. In this video, we have done it. We have reached Horapito Motors. possibly the most remarkable scrapyard in the world. There we go, we have a headliner. It's not the best headliner in the world. It was 28 quid, and we took it from an ex-taxi, which might explain why it's so grubby above the driver's head. Here she is. Hopefully didn't get too affected by salt on this open deck. Oh, she's crusty.
Here we have Hubnut paddock racing.
Rear wheel drive is fun, who knew? Well, once again, we've only just pulled out of Littleton, but the state of this view. In this video, well, this evening we've come to Spitfire Square, a retail park, because there are old school happenings. And this is the ridiculous situation you find yourself in when you're trying to work on a brake light switch on a Ford Falcon or Fairmont AU. Wow. I don't even know what that is, but it looks awesome. There's Betty looking at one of her ancestors, a very unexpected ancestor. So time to turn the tables. Ooh, that feels weird. That is Oamaru. And there, I've just been to a penguin colony where I saw no penguins. I'm struggling to stand up even on this relatively level bit, but that gets quite seriously steep. Satnav has chosen a gravel road. Well done, Satnav. We just climbed up to Bluff Lookout. Wow! Oi, stop eating my car. Avalanche area, no stopping. Okay. Oh gosh, it really is dark in here. Put your lights on, it might be helpful. I was wondering if it was really worth coming all this way, but I think, but by heck, I'm gonna have to say yes. Poor Betty out in this, taking an absolute hammering. I think our luck might be out here. People turning around. Finally, it's happening. Betty is getting some love because I'm here with Badgertronics, who is also of the internet. So I've returned to Betty the Fairmont. We will bid farewell to Taranaki. We will hit the road and head to the other side of the country. 15 km/h turn. Oh yeah, I may have accidentally turned the traction control off. Annoying when that happens. Betty in Hobbiton. Really is a very beautiful part of the world. Well, Auckland can get stuffed, frankly. Oh, look at this. She's looking absolutely splendid. We've just brought her out for a bit of a photo shoot. The tyres match the bodywork. She's looking that good. Whoa, stop it, Betty.